One of the biggest problems featuring E50M has always been its weak turret. It simply doesn't live up to its special vehicle class, which is called heavy medium tank hybrids, because you are able to penetrate the face of E50M's turret even with some tier 8 vehicles. No, this is unacceptable. But now Wargaming is thinking about buffing it. Same goes to the 121. Now, we all know that the absolute final nail into the 121's coffin was when they released 430U, which did everything 121 did, but simply better. 121 is also going to receive some buffs, including its texture line, and same goes to the E50M's texture line as well, actually. And as a little cherry on the top of the cake, Object 140 will be tweaked a bit as well. All of this is going to be in today's episode, so ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's dive right into the action. And let's talk about the changes to the medium tanks Wargaming is testing at the moment. They say, we are continuing our rebalancing of high-tier vehicles. Next in line are branches of German and Chinese medium tanks, as well as the Soviet Object 140. So one Soviet vehicle sneaked itself into this buffing as well. Of the two German tier 10 medium tanks, the E50M is the more protected and durable one. Due to its frontal armor, the vehicle is somewhat like a heavy tank. It is indeed a kind of a heavy medium tank hybrid, but currently the weak turret basically kills the entire existence of the armored version of a medium tank. Nevertheless, the thickness of the turret frontal armor plate is insufficient to repel shots from high-tier opponents. Exactly what I just said. We plan on improving the protection of this area by increasing the thickness of the turret's effective armor from 197 up to 266. So now, we can easily say that majority of the standard rounds are not easily going through the E50M's frontal turret, and this is actually what they are going to do to the E50M. I have a little picture for you as well. So this is the frontal turret area where they're going to do the buffing. And it is very welcoming, because when I was under, let's say, kind of a decent angle, I was able to penetrate E50M's turret, tier 10, kind of a armored medium tanks turret with a tier 8 vehicle. Not even talking about some tier 9 tanks, easy penetrations. But now, thank God, finally, my favorite tank to ram enemy vehicles with is going to receive some nice upgrade. Some nice face-hugging upgrades, actually. Some other vehicles of the branch are also going to be touched. For example, tier 9 E50. On that vehicle, they are going to increase the effective armor of the turret's frontal armor plate from 197 up to 220. The 10.5 centimeter L52 Ausb gun will get increased the penetration value of its standard shell from 220 up to 230, and the 8.8 centimeter gun is going to get damage increasement from 240 up to 280, which is actually very interesting, because this 8.8 centimeter L100 gun has the best DPM out of all the guns E50 is able to use. E50, by the way, with this gun has one of the highest DPMs among all the medium tanks in the first place, but them increasing its alpha damage up to 280 is going to improve this DPM as well. So when this buff actually goes through, then E50 is going to have a new best DPM compared to any medium tank in this game using this gun, over 3360, or if you go into 100% crew into it as well, it had 3500 stock DPM, which is just a boom. Yeah, many DPM hunters are going to use that more now than ever, because with premium rounds, for example, you are able to increase his penetration up to 261, and you can simply tear through the enemy's HP easily. And them doing that, them increasing this gun's DPM is going to help out Panther 2, which is using this gun, and also Panther 8.8, tier 8 premium German medium tank is going to receive a straight out DPM buff, because this gun is also used over there. So very nice and welcoming changes to the more heavily armored German medium tank line, because Leopard 1, Leopard PTA All those vehicles received buffs a couple batches ago, like maybe 3, 4, 5 batches ago, and now Leopard 1 actually is one of the best tier 10 medium tanks. And you all know how much I love the E50M's line as well, so I am very, very happy. But moving on, next up, let's talk about the Chinese medium tanks. The Chinese medium tank branch will receive a wide array of improvements to a number of technical characteristics affecting both survivability and firepower. These changes should make his vehicles more competitive compared to the other newer tanks. Mainly, we are looking to compare 121 to Object 430U. Because when Object 430U came, it was the final nail into 121's coffin, because 430U did everything 121 did, but simply better. There was no hiding the fact that it did basically everything better. But now, let's take a look at this wide array of improvements, as they said, what they did to the 121. First of all, armoring increased the effective armor of the upper classes from 240 up to 270. So the upper plate, frontal upper plate, is going to bounce a lot more. It actually is quite effective improvement because keep in mind this is an effective armor value under the best possible angle. Basically, if you are both on flat ground, it should be a lot higher for the enemy tanks to penetrate your upper plate with standard rounds. It kills majority of the standard rounds from the equation. Increased the penetration value of a standard shell from 258 up to 262. Well, this is not going to help it too much, only 4 extra millimeters of penetration. Well, but with good penetration roll, for example, you can penetrate enemy 121 on the flat ground into 270 as well, actually, because if you still didn't know that, we have penetration RNG in this game as well. So, they also increased vehicle's durability from 1950 up to 2050, so extra 100 hit points, which is always nice. So extra hit points, extra upper plate armor, but the lower plate is still the same. All the weak spots as well in the turret and whatnot. But in my opinion, one of the biggest improvements is increased engine power. I always like to see that, especially if it is significant, not like 10 extra, 20 extra horsepower, but 70 extra horsepower in this case, from 580 up to 650. And finally, they actually nerfed some of the statistics of this tank as well. They changed the shell velocity from 1000, so basically all the rounds had 1000 before. Now the standard round has 1115 meters per second shell velocity, but premium round and HE round lost some velocity. Why they did that? I don't know, just improve the standard ammunition shell velocity and keep the rest the same. It would still not break the vehicle, in my opinion, not even slightly. So 121, ladies and gentlemen. They did improve the vehicles leading up to 121 as well. D34 Ii, arguably one of the worst tier 8 medium tanks in this game, and WC-120 as well. What they did to the 120, they increased vehicle's durability by 100 hit points as well. They changed the dispersion of the turret reverse from 0.16 down to 0.14, so if you turn your turret, your gun is going to stay a bit more accurate. They changed the top speed from 56 up to 60, which is very nice. 122mm guns, reload time from 12 seconds down to 11 seconds, and shell velocity was reduced actually. Shell velocity received a hit, 150 meters per second hit to the standard and HE and premium round. What the hell, 640, even KV2 can drive faster. Oof, okay, anyway, D34 Ii. As I said, arguably one of the worst tier 8 premium medium tanks in this game, increased the effective armor of the upper classes from 140 up to 200, not bad increasement actually. Changed vehicle's durability, extra 100 hit points, 122mm gun received damage nerf from 390 down to 360, but the reload time was 3 seconds improved by 3 seconds, accuracy improved by 0.04, and aiming time from 3.1 seconds down to 2.9 seconds. So better gun handling, faster firing gun, but a bit less alpha damage. So 100mm gun, better accuracy, 0.42 down to 0.4. it's like in a nutshell, still the same. Changed the reload time by 1 second, improved, and aiming time improved by 0.2 seconds. So this is what they did to the D34 Ii. And D34 Ii actually received some changes as well, because it is using exactly the same gun, the 100mm gun. Accuracy was improved, reload time was improved by a second, and the aiming time was improved the same way as on D34 Ii. They also changed the dispersion on turret traverse by 0.02 and 100 extra hit points. So, changes to the Chinese medium tanks. Looking at all those things, I want to test it out. I really like the extra hit points, I really like the extra armor on the upper plate, extra penetration is meh, extra shell velocity on a standard round is very good, I like that, and horsepower. As I always say, mobility on medium tanks is key for me, so I would like to test it out and give my final verdict about that. Finally, the Object 140 is essentially a well-balanced vehicle, but it will also benefit from slight improvements in firing comfort and survivability. Yeah, 140, one of the oldest Tier 10 Russian medium tanks, one of the first ones. At first, I would say it was one of the best medium tanks in this game, actually. It was so versatile, it was so good all-arounder. Back in the days, when I first got it, I enjoyed the crazy hell out of this vehicle. I actually did. It felt really good, it was really good. Now it still is okay, but just power creeped a bit, so some touches here and here is going to bring it back into the high meta game. But the question is, do we want to improve it, or I can say I really enjoyed the meta game more when we had vehicles as strong as this one was back in the days, but we are always moving forward, seems like that in this game, so 140 has to move forward as well. They are going to do its gun depression angle will be increased from -6 to -7 degrees, so a bit more gun handling on some maps, a lot more gun handling, and the armor thickness of the frontal glacis plate will be increased from 260 millimeters from 237 millimeters, sorry, up to 260 millimeters. Thanks to these tweaks, the Object 140 will more confidently withstand attacks from other Tier 10 vehicles and will perform more aggressively on the battlefield. 140 was actually never meant to be the more aggressive version of the Soviet medium tanks. When we only had 140 and D62A, D62A had that role to be more aggressive of a medium tank, but now D62A is part of the collector's vehicles and has been removed from the deck tree, so I guess it's necessary. And finally, as always they say, note that his technical characteristics are not final and can be changed. So, ladies and gentlemen, please let me know in the comment section down below what you think about all those things, about 121's line buffs, about E50M's line buffs, Object 140 in the list, as well as a little cherry. So please let me know what you think about all those things. 121, I would like to play with it. E50M, very welcoming, of course, because that turret at the moment doesn't live up to the E50M's body, to the E50M's heavy medium hybrid class, basically. So yeah, let me know what you think. Anyway, that is me done, ladies and gentlemen. You can consider yourself being informed now, and I get you next time with something else. Don't miss any episodes. Maybe tomorrow's episode is going to feature yet another giveaway featuring more premium tanks to give away. So don't miss out anything. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button, so you are going to be notified when I upload yet another video. Stay awesome, stay tuned, take care, and bye.